Joy Sharp, and I'm a parishioner here. And I didn't know Rick as well as obviously the other speakers, but I did want to tell the story of the day that the way I came to Mill Creek Parish and was greeted by Susan after the first service. Obviously, very precarious person. And said, "Oh, it's this year with the early service. There aren't any children at the service. Please stay around." And somehow or other we did, and ended up coming. And somewhere in there, she introduced me to her husband, and Rick was lovely, shook my hand, but very quiet. And a couple weeks later, I had occasion to need a place to practice the piano. For whatever reason, over the years, I've learned my church can be a great place for that. And so I came here, played this beautiful piano, and about 10 minutes into my practicing, Rick quietly came through the door and put a key to the church on the piano, and I never forgot it. And I just learned that he's gave us a wonderful living example of servant leadership. And I came to think of him as sort of a scholar that way. So, thanks.
Well, as most of you know, Rick always started his sermon with a joke. And then he would print the sermon out and put it on the table out there the next week. So I thought, gee, that's a good idea when I have my meetings with my golfers. So every time I had a meeting, I told one of Rick's jokes. He didn't know that. But we also played rummy cubes in the wintertime, and I won this golf book with golf jokes. So I told one of the golf jokes at my meeting, and somebody piped up and said, "You should go back to your minister's joke."
When my wife and I came in, Susan greeted us and said, "Oh, who are you?" And maybe I look different from my picture on Facebook. But anyway, she said, "Oh, you're one of the band brothers." And when she said that, it's like, yeah, that's right. And what we did, Rick always had a passion for the people in Appalachia. And we went every Friday night as a group of guys to minister at the Backbone Mountain Forestry Camp, which is a juvenile detention center. And the coolest thing was, the guys, as they got to know us, said, "Why do you guys keep coming back? People come, people go, but you guys have come year after year, every Friday night to minister to us." We'd sing songs, we'd do Bible studies, we'd break off into small groups. It was great. I'm not going on, but it was a lot of fun for us, and it was a lot of fun for the people at the forestry camp. And you had mentioned Rick's love of Larry Norman music. We really did love Larry Norman music and Randy Stonehill. We had the occasion once to see Larry and Randy in person at St. Catharines, Ontario. And being, college kids, we didn't have a lot of money. We weren't staying at the Holiday Inn. We stayed in the back of Claudia's VW wagon. Well, 3 of us in the back of that wagon was quite a sight. And they allowed us to park in the lot there by the falls, and it was beautiful. But we had to converse as the night went on. Okay, it's time to roll. We have to roll together. because I couldn't deal with the attendant. So that was memorable at best. And anyway, we went back to our school fellowship and told them about it. They said, "Oh wow, that sounds so cool. If you do it again, let us go." So we called them the next year. Randy and Larry were coming again to St. Catherine's. So I called the promoters and I said, "You know, we've got a group that's gotten a little bit large. We're not going to fit in this Volkswagen for sure." So the car pulled up and they said, "Look, you guys came from a long way. Stay at our house." And after this show, invited us all to go with them to dinner. So here we were in this restaurant, and Larry and Randy went over to the TV and we're watching Saturday Night Live, and it was like, you know, they're just like us. It was amazing. But anyway, the promoters were cool. They said, "Come to our house." Guys slept in the kitchen. You know, I slept under the kitchen table, I believe. And the gals went upstairs. And it was just a blessed time. And Rick and I, and Rob and Rodney and so many others, I'm not sure who else was here from the group, just had a great time. I'm going to miss him. Didn't get to see him as much as I'd like, but the memories I have, they'll live forever. Susan, please.